Hi, this is Dr. Ankita, one of the doctors here. What may I call you?
I'm Genevieve Ferguson.
Hi, so I understand you've recently been given some difficult news. And before we begin, is it okay if I ask you a few questions so that we can talk through your options?
Yes, doctor. So I was told that I have an early cancer of the uterus, and I'm a bit worried as I have not had children yet. Is there any way I can still have a baby?
I'm really sorry that you're going through all this. I can understand why this feels frightening, and especially when it's important for you to have a baby. I'll do my best to explain everything clearly and discuss what options you may possibly have that would be safe for you. To start with, can you tell me what you've been told so far about the diagnosis?
They said it's an early cancer, stage 1A, and that is inside the womb.
Mhm. Have they told you anything about the result of the biopsy, the type of cancer?
I was told that it is endometrial cancer, but I do not remember all the details.
That's all right. I understand from your records that it is an early stage, early cancer of the lining of the womb. I'll explain what that means. Firstly, may I ask you about your periods, about the bleeding?
I've been having irregular periods for around 8 months now. There has been heavy bleeding, and sometimes there are clots.
And any bleeding after sex?
No,
Any pain in the abdomen?
no severe pain.
Have you felt dizzy, faint, or feel tired because of the bleeding?
Sometimes I do feel tired, but not fainting.
I also want to understand your fertility history. Have you been trying? How long have you been trying for a pregnancy?
I've been married for 5 years and we've been trying for a baby.
Have you ever been pregnant before?
No.
Is it okay if I ask you about any medical history, any medical diseases?
Yes, I have PCOS and diabetes, and my weight has been high for many years now.
Or are you on any treatment for the diabetes?
Yes, I take tablets.
Any previous surgeries?
No,
Any allergies?
no,
Any significant family history like cancers in the family?
no.
And are you well supported at home?
Yes, yes,
Do you feel low or anxious recently? I know this is because of the cancer, you're upset, but otherwise, in general, any depression or anything of that sort?
no.
All right. Do you know if you've had a scan, like an MRI scan?
Yes, they did an MRI, and I was told that it shows early cancer confined to the uterus.
All right, that's helpful. What worries you the most at the moment?
I'm worrying about the cancer spreading, losing my uterus, and never having any children. I'm also worried about surgery.
All right. Those are very understandable worries. Let me go through this step by step. Firstly, the reassuring part is that it appears to be an early stage cancer, which means it has been found at an early point where treatment is often very successful. Normally, the standard treatment would be removal of the womb and often the tubes and ovaries, depending on the situation, because this gives the best chance of cure. Am I clear?
So, does that mean that I cannot have children?
Yes, if we proceed with the standard surgery to remove the womb, you would not be able to have a pregnancy. And that is the reason why, in selected women who strongly wish to preserve fertility, we sometimes consider fertility sparing treatment instead of immediate surgery. But this is only considered if it is safe enough. I'll be honest with you. Fertility sparing treatment is usually best established for women who have very early disease like yours, however, usually in grade 1 tumors with no invasion into the muscle of the womb and only if the woman is able to attend very close follow up. In your case, because the tumor is grade 2, the risk may be a bit higher, so this needs very careful specialist review before deciding. Fertility sparing surgery usually involves giving high dose progesterone treatment, either in the form of a coil, which is called LNG-IUS, and or tablets or injections such as progesterone. Some women may be advised to use metformin, particularly if they have PCOS or insulin resistance. And during treatment, we would need to monitor you closely and repeat the endometrial biopsy every 3 to 6 months to know if there is any response or the cancer is progressing. And if there is complete response, we would then encourage early attempts at conception, often with the support of a fertility specialist, because we would not want to delay too long. We could consider a test tube baby as well. And once childbearing is complete, the next thing we could do is to proceed with a definitive surgery, that is hysterectomy for you. All right?
Okay, and what if the treatment does not work?
Mhm. That's a valid concern. If the cancer does not respond or persists or shows signs of progression, then we would need to move to a definitive treatment, which usually means surgery. Your safety would be our priority. And I would like to tell you that your weight is an important factor. Having a high weight for height ratio can increase the chance of treatment not working as well, and it also increases surgical anesthesia as well as clotting risks. It can also increase the risk of fertility treatment, and pregnancy can be a little more complicated. You could as well have difficulty conceiving, and it could increase the risk of miscarriage, preterm delivery, high blood pressure, the diabetes could get worse, and you may need operative interventions. So, part of your treatment plan would also be strong support for weight reduction, for which we could refer you to the dietitian, and the exercise and certain exercises could be advised to you. Okay, so our
And
aim is to promote overall health. Yes.
does this mean that I caused this?
No, I would not want you to blame yourself. Conditions like PCOS, weight issues, diabetes do increase the risk, but this is not about a blame game. Okay. I would also like to tell you that there are other options that even if we proceed with the surgery, that for which would allow you to have a baby, like surrogacy. It may be an option wherein we could use your eggs, which are preserved before the surgery, or the donor eggs, depending on the circumstances. It usually requires IVF, and there are also legal aspects, so that would need specialist fertility and legal counseling as well.
Can I keep my ovary?
Yes, in some women with low grade early stage endometrial cancer, we could consider keeping the ovaries so that it would avoid the complications associated with early menopause that happens after the ovaries are removed. One important thing I would like to consider here is whenever there is endometrial cancer, we usually test or refer to a geneticist for a assessment of a condition called a Lynch syndrome, which is a genetic condition which increases the risk of ovarian cancer as well. So we would first need to consider whether there is a risk of that. And if that is the case, then there is a chance that this may also be transmitted to your baby as well. All right.
Okay, what is this Lynch syndrome?
Yes, that's basically a genetic syndrome that I just mentioned to you, wherein it can increase the risk of ovarian cancer, womb cancer, and even breast cancer. So we need to check if that is there to assess whether it could be transmitted to your offsprings and for other management that we need to look into.
Is there any transplant option for the uterus?
Yeah, uterine transplant does exist, but it is still highly specialized and limited area, more in the realm of advanced specialist practice and research. It involves major treatment, immunosuppressant medicines, and significant risks, so it would not be considered a standard option here. You would need immunosuppressant for a long time, and after the family is complete, we could consider a surgery to remove the transplanted uterus.
I'm scared that the cancer will spread while I'm trying to have the baby.
Your fear is completely understandable. If we consider a fertility preserving approach, it would only be after a review in a specialist multidisciplinary team, and only if we feel safe enough to proceed with the same. All right. If there is any sign that the treatment is not working, we would need to review. Okay.
Okay, that sounds right.
I would also like to say that because you had been bleeding and you were feeling unwell, we would need to check your hemoglobin and consider treatment for that as well. I would also like to highlight here that IVF may not be funded on the NHS, although we could write to the clinical commissioning group and to because of the high weight for height ratio. We will support you through all your management, and I know this is a lot to take in. We do have counselors, support groups. I would give you written information and arrange for an appointment with my consultant as well. Do you have any other questions for us?
No,
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor.